Lily Parker was eager to start her life at Greystone Academy. Her parents, Megan and Richard Parker, had high hopes for her future and believed that this prestigious school would help Lily achieve her dreams. Greystone Academy had an excellent reputation for its academic success, and the idea of sending their daughter to such a distinguished school made Megan and Richard proud. For Lily, it was an exciting new chapter. She was looking forward to a world of new experiences, new friends, and the chance to be part of something special. At first, everything seemed perfect. The school's impressive campus was filled with tradition, and Lily was immediately drawn to its beauty and the promise of success. She quickly settled into her routine, excelling in her studies and making a few friends along the way. Her teachers praised her, and the other students seemed welcoming. Everything seemed to be going well, and Lily felt like she had found the perfect place to grow academically and socially. However, as Lily continued her time at Greystone, she began noticing small things that didn't sit right with her. The school, while outwardly perfect, had an underlying sense of tension. There was a lot of pressure on the students to be the best, and Lily quickly realized that perfection was expected at every turn. Students were constantly competing, and there was little room for mistakes. Still, Lily pushed through, thinking it was just part of the experience. But things began to change, and the perfect school she thought she had entered started to feel more like a place that wanted to break her spirit. Lily's first few weeks at Greystone Academy went smoothly, but it didn't take long for her to sense something was off. At first, it was small things, a coldness from the teachers and staff, the competition among the students, and the strange dynamics between her peers. The teachers, though polite, were distant and formal. They didn't offer the support Lily expected, instead focusing only on grades and achievements. It became clear that Greystone's priorities were focused on success and perfection, and students were expected to thrive in this high-pressure environment. Lily also began noticing strange behavior from some of her classmates. Savannah Brooks, a popular girl in the school, seemed friendly at first. She showed interest in Lily and invited her to join her social circle. However, Savannah's behavior began to shift, and soon, Lily noticed a colder side to her new friend. Savannah would make cutting remarks when Lily wasn't around, and even subtly excluded her from group activities when it suited her. Lily started to feel isolated, unsure of who she could trust. Things became even more unsettling when Lily overheard a conversation between two senior students discussing a rite of passage for new girls. The way they spoke about it was vague, but there was an undertone of something secretive, something that didn't feel right. Lily tried to brush it off, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong at Greystone Academy. What seemed like the perfect school was quickly revealing its darker side. As Lily continued to adapt to life at Greystone Academy, the pressure began to mount. The school, which initially seemed like a place of opportunity, turned out to be one where success was the only thing that mattered. Students were expected to excel not only in academics, but also in extracurricular activities. They had to be perfect in every way: top grades, star athletes, and social leaders. The competition was fierce, and it was clear that only the best were celebrated. Lily found herself struggling to keep up. She had always been a diligent student, but the workload at Greystone was overwhelming. It felt like there was never enough time to do everything she needed to do. The teachers didn't offer much help. Instead, they placed more pressure on students to perform, creating an atmosphere of constant stress and anxiety. Savannah, who had initially seemed like a supportive friend, began to play a more dominant role in Lily's life. She convinced Lily that in order to truly succeed at Greystone, she had to be part of the elite group of students, those who excelled in every aspect of their lives. Savannah's manipulations were subtle but effective. She guided Lily into more competitive circles, encouraged her to join exclusive groups, and pushed her to perform at a level that Lily wasn't comfortable with. Lily started to feel like she was losing herself, as though she was no longer in control of her life. The pressure was taking its toll on Lily's mental health. She became anxious, sleep-deprived, and overwhelmed. She wanted to do well, but couldn't keep up with the constant expectations. Despite all her efforts, she began to feel like she was falling short. As Lily's friendship with Savannah deepened, she began to trust her more. Savannah seemed to offer guidance and support, but it quickly became clear that her intentions were not as pure as Lily had believed. Savannah, it turned out, was not interested in being a true friend. Instead, she used Lily as a pawn in her own game for popularity and power. Savannah started convincing Lily to take part in harmless pranks and social games that tested the limits of Lily's comfort. These tasks became more extreme, and Savannah's true nature started to show. One of the first pranks was a joke that went too far, humiliating another student in front of the entire school. Lily was uneasy about it, but Savannah reassured her, saying it was all in good fun. Lily began to question her own values as she was drawn further into Savannah's world. The pressure to fit in grew stronger, and Savannah used her influence to manipulate Lily into doing things she normally wouldn't. When Lily hesitated, Savannah made her feel guilty, saying that she wouldn't succeed at Greystone without fitting in with the right crowd. Slowly but surely, Savannah started controlling Lily's decisions, isolating her from the people who genuinely cared about her. Lily realized too late that she had been manipulated. She had trusted Savannah, but in doing so, she had unknowingly become a part of Savannah's cruel and vindictive games. What Lily didn't know was that the worst was yet to come. As Lily's involvement in Savannah's manipulative games deepened, she began to realize the extent of the betrayal. Savannah's true intentions were now clearer than ever. What seemed like friendly advice and harmless fun was actually a way for Savannah to climb the social ladder by using Lily. The pranks and humiliations that were once portrayed as fun turned out to be part of a twisted initiation process to prove loyalty to the elite group. Lily began to feel like a puppet, with Savannah pulling the strings and using her for her own gain. The tipping point came when Savannah pushed Lily to participate in one of the most humiliating tasks yet. Savannah orchestrated a situation where Lily was forced to participate in a prank that would publicly humiliate another new student, a girl who had been kind to Lily when she first arrived. Lily hesitated, feeling a deep sense of guilt, but Savannah made her feel weak and out of place if she didn't go along with it. The task was cruel, and Lily knew she had crossed a line. When the prank backfired and the girl was left emotionally broken, Lily couldn't ignore the damage anymore. She realized that her desire to fit in had made her lose sight of who she truly was. The guilt was overwhelming, and Lily felt sick to her stomach. For the first time, she saw Savannah for what she truly was, a manipulative person who would stop at nothing to get ahead. The breaking point came when Savannah turned on Lily, blaming her for the failure of the prank and threatening to ruin her reputation. In that moment, Lily realized how deep the betrayal went. It was no longer about fitting in or pleasing Savannah. It was about reclaiming her own life and dignity. Lily was done being a pawn in someone else's game. Determined to free herself from Savannah's grip and the suffocating pressure of Greystone Academy, Lily started to investigate the darker side of the school. As she spent more time reflecting on her situation, she began to notice disturbing patterns not just in Savannah's behavior, but in the institution itself. She overheard conversations between faculty members and discovered that many of the school's students, like herself, were being pushed beyond their limits, mentally, emotionally, and physically. One evening, while staying up late in the school library, Lily stumbled upon some old files that weren't properly locked away. Inside, she found documents outlining the school's history and the questionable methods they used to shape their students. Greystone Academy wasn't just about academics. It was about creating a certain kind of student, one who was obedient, perfect, and willing to sacrifice everything for success. The school had a secret history of manipulating and breaking down students to mold them into high achievers, a process that had been happening for years. Lily was shocked by the extent of the school's control over its students. She found evidence of severe emotional abuse and other manipulative practices, from placing students in impossible academic situations to setting them up for failures in social settings. The most disturbing discovery was how faculty members turned a blind eye to the emotional toll this was taking. It was clear that Greystone was more interested in maintaining its prestigious reputation than the well-being of its students. As Lily pieced together this dark side of Greystone, she realized that she wasn't just fighting against Savannah. She was up against a system designed to break students down for the sake of its own image. And now that she had the truth, she knew she couldn't stay silent anymore. With the full truth about Greystone Academy in her hands, Lily knew that the time had come to confront both Savannah and the school. She was no longer afraid of what would happen if she spoke out. The emotional burden she had carried for so long was too much to bear. The manipulations, the pressure, and the cruelty, all of it had to be exposed. Lily decided to confront Savannah first, the person who had been at the heart of her suffering. One afternoon after school, Lily cornered Savannah in one of the quieter corners of the campus. The confrontation was intense, as Lily unleashed everything she had been feeling for months. She accused Savannah of manipulating her, using her to climb the social ladder, and of being the puppet master behind all the pranks and games. Savannah, who had always been the one in control, was taken aback by Lily's anger and newfound confidence. At first, Savannah tried to brush it off, playing the victim, but Lily wasn't backing down anymore. Savannah's mask cracked, and for the first time, Lily saw her true colors. Savannah admitted to her manipulations, her coldness, and the games she had played on Lily. But she didn't apologize. Instead, Savannah tried to twist the conversation, making it seem like Lily had somehow caused her own pain by not being strong enough to handle the pressures of Greystone. But Lily had had enough. She walked away from the confrontation feeling empowered, knowing that she had finally stood up for herself and faced the person who had hurt her the most. But the battle was far from over. Savannah was just one part of a much larger, more insidious system that controlled everything at Greystone. After confronting Savannah, Lily knew she had to escape the toxic environment of Greystone Academy once and for all. She couldn't remain in a place that had drained her emotionally and mentally. The pressure, the manipulation, and the isolation had taken a serious toll, and Lily was determined to leave before she lost herself completely. She gathered all the strength she could muster and called her parents, explaining the full extent of what had been happening at the school. Megan and Richard Parker were shocked and heartbroken. They had never known that their daughter had been suffering in silence. They immediately agreed that Lily should come home, no matter the cost. The next morning, Lily packed her things quietly and left the school without telling anyone. As she drove away from Greystone, a sense of freedom washed over her. It was bittersweet because she knew leaving wasn't just about escaping the school. It was about reclaiming her life and dignity. The campus, which once seemed like the gateway to her future, now felt like a prison. When Lily arrived home, her parents were there to support her. Although they were angry at themselves for not seeing the signs earlier, they made sure she felt loved and safe. The healing process began immediately. Lily's parents enrolled her in a different school, one that would support her emotionally as well as academically. She began seeing a therapist to help her work through the trauma caused by her time at Greystone. Leaving Greystone wasn't just a physical escape for Lily. It was the beginning of her journey to rediscover who she was and who she wanted to be. Life after leaving Greystone Academy wasn't easy for Lily, but it was a necessary step toward healing. She struggled with feelings of guilt, shame, and confusion. Despite being away from the toxic environment, the emotional scars left by the manipulations and pressure lingered. Lily felt betrayed by the very system she had once trusted, and she also blamed herself for letting it happen. Her parents, though devastated by the pain Lily had gone through, were supportive. They reassured her that none of this was her fault. They took steps to ensure she felt safe and understood. They encouraged her to talk about what happened and to express her feelings openly. Lily began attending therapy regularly, and over time, she realized the extent to which Greystone Academy had influenced her sense of self-worth. The constant pressure to succeed, the lies she had been fed, and the betrayal of people she had trusted were all factors in how she had started to lose confidence in herself. But through therapy and the support of her family, Lily started rebuilding her self-esteem. Her new school was different. The teachers were caring, the students were friendly, and the environment was supportive. It wasn't about perfection, it was about growth and learning at your own pace. For the first time in a long time, Lily felt like she was in a place where she could breathe and thrive without the heavy weight of constant competition. Though the scars from Greystone would take time to heal, Lily was finally starting to reclaim her life. The experience taught her that success didn't have to come at the cost of her mental health or happiness. As time went on, Lily began to find her strength again. She was no longer defined by her time at Greystone Academy or the betrayal she had experienced. Through therapy and the unconditional support of her parents, Lily started to rebuild her confidence and trust in herself. The lessons she learned during her painful time at Greystone became the foundation of her personal growth. Determined to take control of her future, Lily focused on things that truly mattered to her: her well-being, her passion for learning, and her relationships with the people who cared about her. She found new friends at her new school, people who respected her for who she was, not for her grades or social status. These genuine friendships helped Lily heal, allowing her to let go of the toxic influences of her past. Lily also became more involved in mental health advocacy. She realized how important it was to speak out about the pressures students face and how dangerous environments like Greystone could be for vulnerable young people. She used her story to raise awareness about the emotional toll of perfectionism, competition, and manipulation, speaking at local events and sharing her journey with others who had similar experiences. Though the scars from Greystone would never fully disappear, Lily learned to view them not as a sign of weakness, but as a symbol of her resilience. She realized that her worth wasn't tied to her ability to succeed at any cost. By reclaiming control over her life, Lily found peace and purpose. She would never allow anyone to define her or make her feel small again. With each passing day, she became stronger, more confident, and ready to face whatever the future had in store. This is where Lily's journey toward healing and self-discovery truly begins. Would you like me to assist with anything else?